Connection established.
Hello, my name is Kimberly. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
That they're not sure of. And the rainfall just takes away the beauty that you think Abuja has, washes everything away. And we are wondering, what exactly are we doing wrong? It can be perfect, but then it can be easy for everyone when it rains. It's able to flow, and the drainages are clear enough for, people to be able to have their right of way when they're driving. So I'm hoping that with all the signs the rains have been giving us since it started earlier in the year, I hope that those in charge, the authorities, are able to clean up these drainages and ensure that those that are blocked clear so that the water can flow.
But we also need to help ourselves. I mean, every year when the rains are almost here, we always have the usual conversation of government clean the drainages and all of that. We need to advise ourselves also. And I was listening to a conversation on LBC, London, their talk station. Then they were talking about plastics and recycling and all whatnot. Intense conversation. How we're dealing with other third world issues. They've advanced to a point where they're looking at policy as the use of polythene bags and the likes of it. We don't have those tight regulations here.
No, we don't.
So from sachet water to you want to buy one noodle, they will put it in one leather. You want to buy egg, they will put it in a different one. You want to put it. I mean, if you're buying 10 stuff instead of them piling everything together in a paper bag or one of it, they'll put individual packs, giving you excess of these things. And half the time, what do we do with them? Maybe you store
the sink. That's the place.
And then you store things and throw them out. And those things are not biodegradable. So they stay there. They can clog the waterway. They can clog your sewers, your gutters, and all whatnot. So there's a lot. It is a lot, honestly.
I'm just imagining when it starts raining heavy, maybe for more than one day at a time, how we're going to manage. But then let's just do the right thing, like you mentioned. Don't throw things unnecessarily into the gutters. Dispose of your garbage the right way, and I think all of us will be good eventually. Yeah.
All right. Welcome to Hard Facts. Like the name implies, intense. We start off looking at some of the big stories driving conversation in Nigeria. We shift to get into another intense topical conversation, and then tap out properly with nice and easy eyewitness reports towards the end of the show. And it will be great today. So welcome. My name is Kimberly. Call me Kim, the Oracle, the Digital Oracle, the fellow OTF Madam Speaker, and I'll say yes to them all. Itodo is wearing a splash of color today.
Oh, yes. When it rains in Nigeria, we look for every reason to wear something thicker.
Because look at me. It was not raining in Nigeria when I left my house. When I came in here, temperature changed. I'm like, all right, this is a conspiracy against me of all days.
I'm just happy to drink something extra, and it's colorful today, so I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Color looks nice on you. From the blue to this, seeing that I'm always seeing you in black. It's a little unusual. I just feel like, wow.
It's weird, but I'd enjoy it.
It's cool.
Yes,
it's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, we will start looking at some of the big stories we mentioned all through this week. We'll not have guests join us on the roundtable. You'll be our guest. You'll be very important to us throughout the week, up until this very moment. And we trust your judgment in the perspective that you bring to the stories today. And yesterday, we had quite an intense conversation around what the DSS said about the plots by some political actors to move for an interim government. And, a lot of questions have come up from that. You asked the questions, you made a comment also. More people have weighed into saying, what exactly is going on here? Are they whipping this one up out of the blue to just charge the atmosphere? Is it just being one step ahead of the court? Because, one part of their statement was talking about some of these actors whipping out frivolous court injunctions. And then some people are like, all right, how are you preempting them if it's not in court just yet? Which of them are you downplaying as frivolous, as much as, you're looking at the gravity of what the state security is talking about? But let's get a bit detail as to what people are saying.
Now, security experts and politicians in the country have warned against a repeat of the June 12 crisis in 1993. Now, they're reacting to the confirmation by the DSS yesterday that the politicians were planning to truncate Nigeria's democracy and install an interim government. According to the DSS, there was a plot for an interim government in Nigeria, and some key players in the plot have been identified. The motive of the proponents of an interim government, it was learned, is to stop the transition of power from President Muhammadu Buhari to President-elect Bola Tinubu, who was recently declared winner of the 2023 presidential election by INEC. Now, the DSS has, however, described such talk as an illegality that is totally unacceptable in a democracy and to the peace-loving Nigerians. So it's been a conversation on social and really in Nigeria as to who these people are, and as opposed to making it public, why not just arrest them, do your investigations, and that this is stopped in the best way possible. We've seen inciting comments. Initially, the DSS warned about plans for violence, post-election violence, but we did not quite see anyone get picked up, even those who tried to hit the polity based on the comments that they shared across their various social media platforms and in the media. And people are wondering, why are you not, calling these people and arresting them and doing all of that, as opposed to putting out this statement afterwards, just to maybe gauge how people would react to it in general. Remember that at some point, the DSS invited FFK because of some statements he made about a coup plot. And, he came out and apologized, saying he had misfired with that statement. So it's there's a lot going on right now. And people are saying, as opposed to just making the statements, ensure that you do your job by investigating and arresting these people who are plotting.
And then who are the people voting? Well, they actually said they've got some names scribbled down in their very confidential file or whatever it is. And it means that they are monitoring and keeping tab on these individuals. We've seen position made by, people with the APC, the PDP saying, well, let them arrest whoever you feel is constituting a threat to our national security. We also saw the spokesperson of the Labour Party saying the party is not part of any insurrection whatsoever. So on the political party front, they're all trying to distance themselves from this. So even though they tied it in their statement put out on Twitter to political actors, could be active or perhaps maybe the soldiers. One isn't sure. But you give them benefit of doubt that seeing that there's this secret police, the highest in the nation, that they're working with high-level intel on what to do. And, nobody wants a repeat of June 12. June 12 is, in its sense, different from this. June 12 was adjudged to be, credible in the process of it. Not 100%, though. It wasn't about the process that was faulted, but the fact that some political reason by the military administration there, they just did not want to give power
to civilians
at that point in time. And then all of the intrigues that played out culminated into June 12 situation where it was annulled at the end of the day. But this one, you're getting people who are headed to court and saying we're contesting either the credibility of the process, the individuals, because you're looking at Labour Party, they're also questioning the individual for the president-elect in terms of by his credentials. I don't mean academic credentials, as his person and history and allegations against him, if he qualifies in the first instance to have run for office. So these are some of the things they're challenging in court. And then so far, so good. If you're looking at the pocket of people who've been protesting, you've seen protests. I know the PDP, the presidential candidate of the PDP, led a protest march in the federal capital with some party members at the start of it and said they were going to continue until, ears are listening to the complaint and the issues they've had. We know that there have also been people who've been hitting the street, protesting the credibility of it. In Nasarawa State, I mean, women have been coming out protesting half naked over how the election went. You see pockets of this in different parts of the country. If you're looking at it in a sense that it is orchestrated by one party, it's a different thing. Are there pockets of people coming out? Is it a collaboration between parties? And if you're looking at the fact that we're looking at opposition, it's the first time in our history, sense of it, that we're getting two strong opposition coming out and having almost the same voice in terms of how the election played out. And then you can also hear some people like today, I think it was it Frank Wake? I'm trying to get the name correctly, who said he met with the presidential candidate of the PDP, and he eventually went, he put it on Twitter and met with the presidential candidate of the Labour Party.
Sita Chidoka.
Thank you very much. And then he was saying something about maybe there's a need for some convergence of ideas and position to working together. He's insinuating and implying that they just might come together, a bit more formidable on that aspect. But it's not clear yet because no party has put out a definite position saying we are going to come together as against this. But the laws of our country permit for rightful agitations in court to saying we're uncomfortable with the process, we're uncomfortable with the outcome, here's our judiciary. And it cannot be termed frivolous if headed to court. So to say frivolous injunctions, yes, we've seen tons of frivolous injunctions come out, but then it might not be one to trivialize at this point in time, seeing that it's just started.
Now, the law also allows for Nigerians to be able to protest as long as it is peaceful and not violent. And we've seen a lot of groups come out to protest, stating that they're going to do that until the inauguration. They're hoping that something is done and their voices are heard. Now, we have various political parties and also the opposition who have gone to court. And you would, wonder that why are we hitting up the polity as opposed to waiting for the law to take its course and not preempt what could play out. Now, people believe that since only the government in power can put in place an interim government if need be, why is everyone, freaking out? And the DSS mentioning that they know these people. The rightful thing for them to do is to invite them, interrogate them, and of course, nip this in the bud, because you never know how things will play out once everyone gets agitated. Everyone has got different views as to who they support, who they want, and when you push human beings to the wall, you're bound to fight back or do anything in return just to be able to get that freedom that they deserve. So I'm hoping that a few weeks to inauguration day, the president-elect asks for healing. Okay, so we would expect that his spokesperson, his foot soldiers, stakeholders would work towards that and just allow the courts process play out like it should and not try to preempt or create scenarios that are not necessary at this point.
Yeah, you read books and you find out that scenarios actually can be created. It happens in the politics of even the best and most organized nations. So it's not completely unusual to say that can happen in Nigeria, but would follow with some interest where this is headed. It just might be a lot of smoke screen to deflect from something else, but then nobody wants any chaotic situation. Like we had this conversation at length yesterday. Anything that would destabilize, things so seriously, nobody wants it. However, in order to even get certain kind of change, positive change you want, there needs to be that force of destabilizing, the usual things that have held us back over time, which is something you also prepare yourself for. We'll go on a very quick break. When we return, we'll look at more stories, which will open up the phone lines and hear from you. So please stay with us.
In the comfort of your home.
This is Nigeria Info.
Hello, I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be again differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
Audio Jungle.
Connection established.
This is Nigeria Info.
You both, Judge H.A. Oko, the DSS should stop behaving like media blogs. Their job is action-based, intel gathering and arrest discreetly where necessary. Christine Emmy says, good afternoon, Kim and Itodo. Chris from Hamburg. How is work and all? Good. Thank you for asking. And Chidima Mmezi says, you both look lovely. I wish you good luck. Thank you. That's it from Facebook.
From Facebook.
Yes. Let's look at WhatsApp, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. On WhatsApp. Ooh. Okay. Not sure about this. Hello, Kim and Itodo. Talk about it right there. Madam Speaker, now your head do suit your face. You look sweet, and the town hall is different from management meeting. Not sure what that is. Good afternoon, Her Excellency Kim, Bishop Itodo. For me, let the DSS do the needful. Nobody should destroy our democracy that we have built since 1999. Yomi from Gariki. And strong oppositions, yes. So who are we going to hand over the second and third contestants? Let's all relax. No, I catch your name. I think it's Ekas. Okay, Ekas right there.
All right. Thank you, Kaz. Now, who likes free internet? I sure do.
I don't.
Why buy stuff?
Yeah.
Hackers and the likes.
It's never 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets really slow.
Particularly at the airport. There's just something most questionable about airport free internet.
Yeah.
But hey, the Federal Executive Council has approved 2 contracts worth 24.20 billion naira for the provision of broadband for free internet in 75 public places, including 20 airports, tertiary institutions, markets nationwide to support micro, small, and medium enterprises. I feel like it deserves a shake, but hey, let's keep reading. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, announced this Wednesday while briefing State House reporters after the Federal Cabinet meeting presided over by the President at the Villa. Said the project approved after the presentation of 2 memos were implemented by the Nigerian Communications Commission, a parastatal, under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. And the minister said they selected 20 domestic and international airports with an average of 3 picked from each of the 6 geopolitical zones. And according to him, in the southwest, you have 2 in Lagos, you have in Ondo. For southeast, you have in Imo, Anambra, and Enugu. For south-south, you have in Port Harcourt, Akwa Ibom. For the north-central, you have Abuja and Ilorin. For northwest, you have Kano, Sokoto, and Kebbi. For northeast, you have Yola, Maiduguri, and Gombe. And said the duration of the project is for 4 months minimum, maximum of 5 months. And there's a budgetary provisions for that. Also, the fund to sponsor the implementation is secured by the administration. For universities, it's because we've learned bitter and better lessons during COVID. We want to go back to that. We want to ensure that students and staff benefit from unlimited internet. For airports, we know the difficulty when you land with connectivity. And so it will even make our airport more lively if there's at least internet connectivity that is absolutely free. Thirdly, for markets, It's to support innovation-driven enterprises that are being championed by the Massachusetts Institute for Technology, where we try to give global visibility to our investors, to our micro, small, medium enterprises, so that our market is not going to be narrow, restricted only to local commodities. So we're going global, baby, with the internet coming in. But interesting.
I have questions. Too many questions to ask about how sustainable this plan will be. It's a great, it's a great plan, but in partnership with any broadband provider, and how would it be paid for? Is it every year, every month? I mean, situations like this, you would have somebody who decides to download everything downloadable because it's free internet. Would there be limits as to what platforms you can access using the internet? And how secure is it as well? Would people not be comfortable using it because there's a risk of them losing or sharing their personal information with those who are in charge of this platform? Too many questions to ask, but great innovation.
No, but if you know you're using a public Wi-Fi, you also want to be careful with where you log into. But I want to believe every single day they try to make some of these things watertight. Like you mentioned, it's brilliant. I love the idea of working for students within a campus environment and their lecturers to have access to the internet. A lot of people still cannot afford it. Particularly you buy certain amounts, gig, and it's supposed to last for the month, and then you don't understand what happened.
It's gone one day.
They will tell you close and deactivate all your apps, but it's still gone. I also like the idea for, the airport. You travel to countries and then you have access to the internet. When you arrive at this country, you can call people if you don't have connectivity. It's important you have it if people are traveling, coming into your country, or you go into someone else's country. Just before you find a way to connect in or roaming or something, you can call them through the internet-enabled calls and send messages, or I've arrived, or we've landed here, waiting for connecting flight and the likes of it. And I often wonder why, you go to our airport and it feels as if it's there and you're trying to log and nothing is connecting anywhere. Maybe people in VIP enjoy certain privilege, though. Markets, I get the idea for the market where they're coming from, but it can't be all of our market.
Which of the markets exactly?
Most definite, cannot be just what. But places like even here, I know that was it Google or one group brought an idea with we say market for a period where you go around that environment and you could actually. But I don't know if it's still they haven't been the market in like forever, and I don't know if it's still or how long it lasted for. But it's a period where they were doing a promo. And for people in that environment, within the market environment, they could actually Google stuff with free internet back then. 24.2 billion naira. Okay.
That's a lot. Is it priority right now? Is that what we really need?
I think we need it, actually. Okay. But, you asked the important question as to sustainability of this. And we have efficiency problem also, where you start off something and then it starts to go so slow, and then they increase the amount spent on it, and the service delivered is very poor. So they will tell you so much money has gone into it. You go to the airport and you can't connect. And we're like, is it not 20.2 billion they use? Why can I not connect? So that aspect is also there, that Nigerian factor. But aside from that, I think it's important for us to have free internet at airports, universities, polytechnics, academic environment where students need to work with that. You talk about e-libraries. How many schools have them? How many students can access information on the internet because their libraries are not provided for? They don't have. So this would afford schools the opportunity of setting up, standard e-library where students can actually do their research work. Times have changed. We need to upgrade. We need to go digital.
Well, you see a lot of people going to the markets without having any plans about anything because, hey, it's got free internet and we all love free things. So
you camp at the market.
Yeah, it's free. By all means. With good internet, with great speed, time moves really quickly.
The people who leave their homes to go to the market for free internet are probably people in between jobs. They absolutely need free internet to do whatever they're doing. Because if you have a job and something to do with your time, you are not going to leave it and sit in the market for free internet. That you are sitting there means you need that free internet.
It's really important to you.
You have my blessings to go ahead.
But then if you know about the Wuse Market Google partnership is working right now, still working, do it to let us know. So we can maybe go camp there sometime and check it out. So yes, I think it's important that this is maintained in the best way possible so that it doesn't just start good and we just loot in between.
I already see people on their reservations like, oh, money for the boy. But let's not be quick to always think the worst of a situation. I understand that it comes from a place of abuse. Nigerians have been abused on by poor governance over the years, by poor leadership, mediocre leadership, insipid one, if I may use that word, over the years, such that we come up with brilliant ideas on papers. To execute it becomes a nightmare, such that you hear so much money goes into something and the output is not worth 2 kobo, like 2 naira. So it's coming from that place where people are saying, okay, twilight of this administration, what are they approving? I hope it's not money for the boys and things like that. But I don't want to always think the worst of any situation. I see this as being important. However, I have those questions that you asked, and I'm also concerned on how they would execute this and how long it will last for before they bungle it, because it happens a lot in Nigeria.
Well, let's keep an open mind. When it gets implemented and it starts working, I mean, we're able to ask the government, for feedback in case it goes wrong. And I'm hoping that those who are in charge are accountable enough to ensure that it runs its full course and is maintained in the best way possible.
So what we should be looking at is holding them to account, to ensuring that it works. Every nickel of this monies that they will spend on it would count, and that the internet will be fast.
Yes.
Because
Very
I have a
important.
problem
But
with that.
before you connect to a public internet, ensure that you do your due diligence and do not share your password or all of those things. Just do your research before you do any connection to these 3 things, so you don't lose out on some things you hold dear to yourself.
I know, right?
That's really important. Okay, so we move on to the third story right now. Federal government to create portal for senior citizens to find work after it. I mean, you think that for somebody who is planning to become an ancestor very soon, they're still going to work before they get to that point. This being an older person, you to rest, enjoy all of the hard work you have been through in Nigeria, but then the government is creating a portal for you to, keep working, which might be a good or bad thing depending on what you want for yourself. The federal government says it will create a portal to engage older persons who wish to continue offering services after retirement. Omokaro, the DG of the National Senior Citizens Center, NSC, spoke about this with relevant government agencies and stakeholders in Abuja. Omokaro said the meeting aims to build a foundation of synergy between the center and its critical partners. She said the creation of an online platform is to tap into the potential of older persons. I'd like to know what the age is.
Retirement.
There are older people who claim to be youths, who claim to be youths.
I want to believe we're looking at 65 and above. If you're looking at what is required for retirement, you've done 35 years or you get to 60, 65, and then you have to retire at that point in time. And you did say something about resting and the likes of it. There's also something cultural about us and retirement. And that's why you get to see a lot of people when they retire, all kinds of health issues start to kick in. Because at that point, it just feels like I have put in my life and my youth, and now it's time to chill, and they don't do anything productive afterwards. Routine changes, lifestyle changes happens. Before you know it, one health issues because you're not active. People are retired doesn't necessarily mean, sounds cliche, that they're tired.
Yeah.
They still have energy, they're older, but perhaps might not be able to do the regular 9-to-5 runs and beating traffic and the likes. But it doesn't mean that they can apply themselves. And that's why you find someone like the president who is 70-something. You have a man who we celebrated his 71st birthday yesterday as president-elect. Do you know the volume of work that will be on the table of the president of a country like Nigeria? Security, health, education. Think about anything that would worry somebody. It would be on his table as Mr. President to deal with that. He's 71. On a very good day, if he was working with the civil service, he would have retired. Would you now say he should go and rest? Okay, some people are saying that, but hey, he's not resting because he's been elected. So it means he'll be working. It means that there are more people who are in their 70s and their 80s who have so much to offer. If they have this point, it's brilliant. Engage them. I recall the height of insecurity, remember? And they were talking about bringing back our old soldiers. Even though we're not sure if they finished paying them their pension, the infantry will bring them back. Their wealth of knowledge, help us with security challenges. And it's like a brilliant idea. So there are a lot of people where you can engage them in different areas and industries, in spite of the fact that they've put in, regular hours. And we don't have proper health care for old people. There are countries that have provisions, from Japan, okay, I'm going to cite a classic example with Japan and countries, Scandinavian countries that I'm aware of, where you get a certain age and you become the responsibility of the government in terms of your healthcare. There are people who will tell you they're retired, their pension is not increasing, bills are going up, they will remove subsidy. I mean, we had a caller yesterday who was talking about it. It'd be nice if you can earn something on the side, you know.
But how much work would they be putting into that to earn that living?
No,
I mean,
it will not be hard labor now.
I just think other people should relax. So you can go on vacations, you can do anything else.
But which
you've been
vacation are you
working
talking
for
about for
35 years, for instance.
Say I had to lean back with my pillow. How many Nigerians do you think can afford the luxury of a vacation after doing?
What you put into other things, not having them work, they can still increase their pension, ensure it's consistent, and just enjoy life while you still have it.
But it's not as if you're going to go on a boat cruise all through till you clock out.
You can travel for the rest of your life.
You can try. See, I advise people. I love to travel. Every opportunity I get, I have this. Because I understand that I don't leave things for later if I can afford them now. I know that not everyone can afford it. So some people want to wait. You've gathered enough acorns for winter, and then when the time comes, you can travel. Good for you if that's how the clock works. But there's always this thing with always wanting to leave something for later, and then you get there. And, you know, I always cite the example with my dad, classic example. He put in his life and all of that energy, children. Never really took out much of the time to go on vacation. He's traveling, he's going to the village, problem waiting for him and people queuing up for him to come and attend to. And then, you know, you're retired, he's trying to open up new dimensions, trips, and health complications starts coming. You get to see that a lot with some, not a lot, everyone. But it just feels like if you can, live life every second now for those who can, but minimum wage is 30,000. So not everyone can afford the luxury of this. And I promise you, if you can't afford it now, it means even if you retire, except your children send you on those vacations, you'll still not be able to save over it.
It's just giving...
So if the government is opening a portal and you like, take the job and in extra.
It's just giving like we came to this life to work for the rest, for while we're living.
I know, right?
And even when you die, you become an ancestor and you're still working.
So, the gods, like, can I not even rest in death?
Breathe. My goodness. But yes, it's going to be operational from latest April, according to the NSC DG. So we'll see how this is effective once it becomes operational. April is a few days away from now. So let's see.
The effectiveness is where it comes to question, because even with pensions, we know the rigor of it for a lot of people. Not to call of, this, but we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope for the best. Though.
Yeah.
Let's look at comments quickly and go straight to phone lines.
All right, going straight to the WhatsApp right now. On the internet in public spaces, it's a good idea. However, it should be channeled to make power constant, because the pollution the individual generators make in the markets and plazas is enough to disrupt the internet. Kim, leave that talk of 70. Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Leave the talk about what?
71. I'm trying to understand what you're referring to.
I was talking about the age of the president.
Oh, okay. Why are you using the yellow pillow? Be a gentleman.
I was thinking there was just something unusual, not having my yellow pillow. I would.
All right. They should get it very soon.
Yeah.
Only 1 million naira respects, ma. Free internet will facilitate transfer of money. Okay. That's a good way to put it. Can't seem to find your name. Misplaced parties fix our refineries without money. Israel.
They will still not fix it.
Wow.
So just allow the money we use for internet. Refinery money will take more than 24.4 billion, I promise
But
you.
it's a good start. Think about it.
The refinery fixing is a black hole. It will consume your money. You would know when a government wants to do that. The body language, the signs, the planning, the commitment will show. There are certain areas that you've done money for so long with turnaround maintenance that at one point you ask yourself, do you continue the same thing and expect a different result? Another talk about turnaround maintenance and put every money there. It will consume it and you'll see nothing at the end of the day. When the government is committed to it, you will.
Yeah. Obedient man and maker says they're on it again, but without mixing and mincing words. This is another way to siphon money and enrich themselves. Kim is...
Who are them?
I don't know. He's not referring to anyone. Is this motive a priority at this point in time where we have more than 133 million people living in abject poverty? I sense misplaced priorities. We have more problems to solve than channeling billions of naira for just internet connection. Should invest this money in providing digital libraries to schools instead. But how would these libraries work without internet? Yeah.
Ask him.
Okay. DSS. All right, George. Thank you for your thoughts right there. Nice to see you guys again. DSS tweeted about a plot by political actors to install an interim government. Coming on social media, tell us all their findings. Why not collate your evidence and charge these persons to court? Okay, it's giving blog vibes. Okay, right. Hamzi, thanks for your thoughts right there. We need it, but administration should concentrate on clocking out and tidying up pending projects. New projects should be left for the incoming government.
All right, another
Tokwe.
angle there from Tokwe. Lawal Mohammed says, happy to see you guys, especially Kim. Always knows how to calm me down. Maybe it's her voice. Maybe.
Oh, wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, and here we have from For Your Mind, whatever, Abuja Solomon. Feels good watching you both. Thank you for joining us. Sumba Badmo says, the fellow Oracle came and he told her, good afternoon. You're welcome. Like MTN Sim Park. Please, I have a simple question for Itodo. Why is it that you always wear red attire? Really? He
That's
always wears red. This is the first time I'm seeing him in red, and he's been on the show with me for like months. I don't
Wow.
know what he was doing when what's happening in Abuja.
Oh, same color.
Yeah.
Black. Yeah.
You
We keep
see.
it simple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's more than 300 million naira per location on average. How will it be sustainable? Suleiman Arzika is asking. So these are legitimate questions around sustainability of this project at the end of the day. And these are things we should interrogate. You can't just put up fancy. I like the idea, but you want to interrogate about sustainability and whatnot. But it'd be nice to go to the market and
Get internet connection,
Yeah.
especially when your internet goes off randomly or something. You
But I
can just-
promise you it will not be fast enough for you to be downloading all your movies. So if you think that is your new download spot,
I'm sure they'll put a cap on it.
The
You
phone
can't
call.
do downloads while you're using this
Yeah.
the service.
nah, not at all. All right, then. Let's hear from you via telephone 0700 951 0000 or 0809 5974869 or 0809 9930 137.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, Itodo and Kimberly. Please, Honorable Minister of Life.
Go ahead.
Please, Kim, I'll prefer my traveling back. They said you are going tomorrow, then I want to follow you around. Come on.
Run, go where?
I think you say you love traveling.
Did I say run? I say I love to travel. Does not mean I want to run away.
My own run, follow my own. My own run, follow. I go run, follow you.
That's why I will not carry you along, so you will not shame me.
So, I'm not a good sister. So, on DSS, honestly, the DSS, you know why Nigerians, formerly the DSS, when you hear DSS, you see they are friends, and we respect them. But what is happening, I don't understand. It's the same DSS that declared this MFRE wanted, that is financing terrorism. We are not hearing anything again. Have MFRE removal and financing terrorism, DSS should tell us. And this DSS arrested two people in Kano that they are calling for violence a day before the election, a day before the election. But then the DSS were aware what happened in Lagos. Even what the president-elect said. Even after the election, what he said. Even what MC Olomo in a presidential...
All right, in a nutshell.
So, DSS, I've seen that they are now carrying members of PDP.
Don't allege. All right? Okay, let's hear another caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, King.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
My name is Stanley.
Go ahead, Stanley.
Now, talking about internet in public areas, like market, any public area.
Not any public area.
Oh,
He spells it out. Some markets, some universities, some airports.
yes, now, like market, universities, and airport. I want to ask you now. You are our advocate now. So, I want the internet fail again. That is number one. Number two, INEC portals of the presidential election, has it been released fully now? Or is the internet still slow? So why I ask this question is that they said the thing was going gradually. Secretarial went, only the presidential. Has it been uploaded fully now? And can't this internet in the public areas fail again? My own submission here, let me tell you, okay, is that I laugh in China language. Tomorrow now they will deny this thing. Let me tell you. I tell you.
All right, Stanley.
It will not work. It will not work. Thank you.
Okay, Stanley.
Welcome to you. Are you there?
Apparently not.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome.
Good evening, Kim.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
This is Brother Philip calling you for the Ajaco.
Brother Philip, it's still afternoon. Welcome.
This company, our administrators, will they hear different story of money for this country. And this regime tell us, FCT minister tell us they don't pay money for construction company. When go do road from airport, come pass for this Kubuago Buhari. They give 18 good months. 4 years don't pass, we never see. This government tell us in Cross River, they pay money to social company to come and build factory. 27 billion naira to build a factory when we do pipe. Till tomorrow, we never see the company in Cross River. I am a Cross River man. I never see that company. And they say they don't pay the money. Where those money they go, and now they don't come another one for internet again. When remain how many days for them to go? Which kind of people are we having as a leader?
Okay. Mr. Philip.
When I ask them this question, where this money they go, when we know they see the thing for our eye?
All right.
God bless you people, my dear.
Thank you very much. So you guys are not big on the idea of this free internet, yeah?
Well, I mean, why some people like it? Because it's expensive to get. Usually, some are just like, no, let's use those funds to do something different, something that we really need right now. But we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll take more of your thoughts and hear from you via the phone line. Stay tuned.
This is Nigeria Info.
Audio Jungle.